It's Friday the 13th, and I thought it would be a great idea to talk about some scaries. Welcome back to Making Everyday Magic. My name is Shauna, and if you are new here, we're a homeschooling family of 4. We are in our 7th year of homeschooling, and we have a 6th grader and a 2nd grader. So today, in honor of Friday the 13th, I thought it would be super fun if we just went ahead and shared about the socialization scaries. Guys, before we go any further, please scroll down, hit the big red subscribe button, turn on the bell for notifications, and give this video a thumbs up. As always, you can find me right on down in the comments or over on Instagram at Making Everyday Magic. Today is actually a collaboration. I have invited our trusty group of secular homeschooling mamas to come and give us their input. Now, I thought that it would be very, very valuable to do that because I know that I can't relate to a lot of you. I'm not always in a small town where the options are limited. I am not always in the same kind of circumstances that a lot of you are in. So I thought that by gathering us all together, having all of us answer the same list of questions, it could be really helpful to give you some insight into tackling the scaries that come along with socialization and homeschool. So I do hope that this is valuable to you. Again, the playlist will be linked down below. I will link it right up here. Thank you to all of the moms who came here and participated because I think it's really valuable to have some different insights on this specific topic because it's not the same everywhere. And it's important to know that, but also to hear other aspects that might better serve you, and mine just might not be it. So I'm super happy to gather these people up and to have them answer the same questions. So let's get started. Wait, pause. Okay, so this is Friday the 13th, and tomorrow is a solar eclipse. So I'm really excited. It's not the big one that's coming next year, but solar eclipse. So get outside and enjoy that. Make sure you have the right vision goggles. You should have already done that. I don't think you can get them right now from Amazon same day, but maybe. Anyways, enjoy the eclipse. We've got some plans, so hopefully that pans out. I'll probably be sharing that actually over on Instagram, so be sure to follow us over there. Anyways, I'm gonna focus. I have my questions over there. So if you see me whipping my head, that is why. So let me check my first question because I do not remember what I asked. Okay, so you know us. I just gave you my little rundown. So I think that's a good check. That's a good solid foundation for this video. Now, question number 1, have you always homeschooled? So yes, but also no. So my kids, I used to work outside of the home, hairstylist, and both of my daughters attended a Mother's Day Out program through our local Methodist church. That was 2 days a week, partial days. It gave me enough time to get into my salon and knock out a few clients, those daytime clients. I tended to work opposite of my husband's schedule, so nights and weekends. And so they were in a school setting in that respect as far as Montessori play, but they have never been formally schooled as far as public school, kindergarten and up. That's never happened, or even pre-K. They've never gone to a school, if that makes sense, just the Mother's Day Out. So yes, but also no. Number 2, what are your fears surrounding socialization and your decision to homeschool? I think we all have the same fears, that we're just not doing enough. And somehow I can be burnt out and exhausted from going all of the places and still fear that I'm not doing enough. And I know that you guys are in the same boat. I do worry that they're not getting that same kind of constant FaceTime with the same people, but it is a real and genuine fear. However, logical me kicks in and I'm is that always the best? Is that they have great friends? And I don't have to stress about this, but that never once has stopped me from stressing about this. So it's scary, right? The whole point of this video, guys, the whole point. Okay, so how, in my experience, have those fears been true? So my oldest daughter, you guys know, danced from 4 on, and she was always in the same classes with the same kids. And so because of that, her really strong core friend group now was kind of made out of that, which is great. My youngest daughter hasn't quite found that yet, and it stresses me out, but then I have to remember that my older daughter was older than my younger daughter when they really kind of got, because kids do that independent nearby play before they're really doing that full play with others, and so she's just not there yet. But we are working on that. And then now that my older daughter has changed extracurriculars, I also fear because she's not seeing those same people anymore. So it's just always scary. I know it's going to be fine. Again, logical me knows it's going to be fine, but it's scary. Okay, how in my experience have those fears been off base? Well, I feel like I just answered that with number 3. Because I know that's crazy. My kids are like really social and they make friends everywhere they go, and it's fine. It's fine. We're fine. It's fine. But not like the fine where it's all on fire behind me. Like really, it's fine. It's fine. Number 5, and I think that this is a big one, how has being a secular homeschooler impacted your children's homeschool socialization? Now, we are in Houston, and so that's a lot of Bible. It is a lot of Bible. So that is hard because even when I was looking for like playgroups and things when they were very young, there's one in our area that wanted us to sign a faith statement, and I struggle really hard. I can't just put some of that, and I try. If everybody's, I firm believer, everybody, you do you and I'll do me and we're gonna be great. But very rarely do people stay in their lane, especially when it comes to matters of religion, and that makes it really, really hard. It is hard as a secular homeschooler because a lot of things either don't apply to us or that kind of group is so, what's the right word? Because it's not incestuous, but it's like all the same people do all the same things. No, it is incestuous. It is, yeah. In the sense that like it's all the same people do all the same things all of the time. And it's kind of really hard to kind of like break into that shell when I just want social stuff. I don't need you to tell me about using curriculum I don't want to use. It's hard. It makes it harder. Being secular makes it harder in the homeschool world, especially in the Bible Belt. My observations about the socialization debate are, well, I mean, I have a little bit broader look because I've been doing this so long now. We didn't start doing this because of the pandemonium. We started doing this by choice before that. And so I feel like the socialization debate, especially the longer we go, is more and more absurd. I had a video recently, guys, there's so much more out there for homeschoolers now. We're being catered, there's classes, there's more things, there's more groups. There is exactly what you want in the world, you just have to find it. And the more I think about what is happening in a traditional brick and mortar setting, the less that is socialization to me. Because it's not, it's forced association. You're in the same place with the same people from the same place, the same kind of people. It is not the same as taking your children and putting them in the world, or even just different people from around Houston, different demographics. It's not the same. And so I really am increasingly offended that somehow limiting your children more is associated with a greater socialization because, well, that ain't right. That ain't right. So yeah, that's how that is. That's how my perspective on that is that we've allowed people to kind of hijack the word socialization, to make it negative against us. And well, it's not, it's like, women and how women are bossy, like it's a bad thing. But like with socialization and people who go to school and homeschoolers, it's like that. That is the same kind of how the word was hijacked to mean like a negative thing, but really it's not. You know what I'm saying? Okay, so things that I do to make sure that my kids get social time is I am members of all of the homeschool groups in the area on like Facebook, and we actively search out either kind of, I'm not a co-op person, but like light group learning activities where like you've got a theme to the park day or whatever, but I am actively all the time, if there's something that I feel like will apply to my children, I'm like, yes, we're going. Yes, we're going. We're getting the theater tickets. We are going to the tours. We're trying to do the park days. I'm working really hard all the time to make sure that whether or not my children take the opportunity to socialize and to make friends, I am putting people in front of their face so that the opportunity is there. I also try really hard, and again, this shifted up quite a bit this past year, but to keep their their friends in their thing. So like if you have a friend from dance, I'm going to try to line up your classes so that you guys can be together and have the same on time and off time, because that's important, right? To have that little bit of kind of shoulder time as far as working on your goals together as a group, team, dance, whatever. So that is what I do. The tips that I have to calm the fears of other homeschoolers about socialization is that, well, I've answered this quite a few times. What is happening in schools is not socialization. Okay, so that is not it. 2, you have to ask your question. When people ask you the questions about socialization, you really have to wonder if that's even what you want. I received the comment, yes, their education is amazing. They're definitely getting a quality education, but I worry about their socialization. I'm like, socialization over education. Like, that's how far we've made it. Where the proof is in the pudding. I've done this long enough. You know my kids. Education is good, great, wonderful. But we still have reservations about this other piece. And I don't get it. I don't get it. I'm not going to choose socialization over education, over the quality of their education, over the quality of life, over family time. I'm just not. So every time that you sit down and you freak out about it, think about if those are things that you even want, okay? Is it really? Like, really? Don't just think about them being with their friends all day, every day, because that's not what's happening, okay? There's this like romanticized Disney Channel version of high school hallways that's happening. This romanticized fun version of school that's happening. That is not what school is like. Just like when my girls came from Mother's Day out, my oldest was like, oh, I want to go to school. I'm like, but do you know that it's not like that thing you just came from? Like, it's not the same. And we had an opportunity to take my niece and do like a picnic. And so I took my girls and they saw and they were like, no, thank you for this. And so, yeah, they get it. They like it. They get it. We get it. It's fine. We're doing great. Is there anything about my journey relating to socialization that I would change? I wish that secular homeschooling had been more mainstream when we started. It would have been really awesome. It's the whole reason I started this channel, if you guys don't know, is because I knew there had to be other people like me. There had to be more. And yeah, I wish there had been more of that. And I can't imagine what the opportunities that we have now would have been like if we had those when we started. Oh my gosh, those early years would have been really different, probably. But it is exactly what it needed to be and exactly the right time it needed to be. I'm a firm believer in that. And so I am thankful for what we've got. It is good. And I am happy that I'm here and sharing and meeting so many more of you, because even if you aren't necessarily a secular homeschooler, what I've found is that the audience that has come here, the people who tune in, the people who take the time to interact with me are at least kind. So that is amazing, kind and inclusive and just warm. So thank you for that. Absolutely. But I just wish there would have been more of that when I started. What has been the craziest comment you've received about socialization? And this circles back to, yep, their education's great, but what about socialization? Really? Yeah, I don't know. Maybe if I just prioritized socialization, we'd have a very different situation for our education. And I can probably throw a few more in if I had a few minutes, but I'm gonna stop there. So, guys, let me know. Pick a question. I'll have them linked down below. I'll have them down in the description box. Take one down in the comments. Answer your question. If you don't want to share it in the comments or on Instagram, shoot it to me directly, because I would absolutely love to hear them. Because, well, we all suffer through the socialization scaries. It is a roller coaster, just like everything else in parenting. So don't think that this particular argument is unique on its own. It's not. It's just one of the loudest, one of the things we hear the most. But it's scary. It's scary. We all have worries. We all have doubts. We have doubts about quality education, or if they're getting socialized enough, or if they're eating enough, or drinking enough, or sleep enough. We all have these worries, and it's perfectly fine. It's perfectly normal. It's perfectly natural. But I just wanted to let you know on this Friday the 13th that you are not alone. Guys, don't forget that we do have several other people participating in this Socialization Scaries collaboration, so you can find them all in the playlist down below. Go watch their videos. Again, maybe I don't resonate with you, or my particular circumstances aren't yours, but maybe somebody in that playlist is. So, or does. Or whatever the right verb there is. Thank you. So yeah, guys, I hope that you found any of it helpful, entertaining, or informative. If you did, please scroll down, hit the big red subscribe button, turn on the bell for notifications, and give this video a thumbs up. As always, you can find me right on down in the comments or over on Instagram at Making Everyday Magic. Bye, guys. Oh, don't forget, Eclipse.